Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, respected resource person, Dr. M.N. Singh, Honorable Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Ruchika Sukhija, my dear parents, students, and staff members. With immense pleasure, I welcome you all to this rejuvenating and informative yoga session. Before we proceed, let us express our total faith in the power present around us and acknowledge his manifold blessings with rendition of Nakarma.
Namo 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 Namo
Namo Namo Arihantanam 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 Namo Namo Sethanam Namo Namo Ayariyanam Namo Namo Vachayanam Namo Loi Sav Sahunam Namo Loi Sav Sahunam Eso Panch Namokaro Sav Pavapanasano Mangalanam Cha Savvesi Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Thanks, Jolly Ma'am. I once again welcome our honored resource person and all those who have joined us for this session about yoga. Yoga is the journey of the self, the perfect opportunity to unite the limited to the unlimited, to find happiness within nature and yourself. To further inspire us, we have the honor of the gracious presence of Principal Ma'am in this session. I request our guiding light and our ever so graceful Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Ruchika Sukhija, to welcome our resource person, Dr. M.N. Singh.
Thank you so much, Prerna ma'am. Sir and my colleagues and my dear students, a very warm welcome. You know, the fact that the house is full shows our keenness for this particular topic. And all of us know, कब हमारा ये International Yoga Divas शुरू हुआ. We all know that it started back in 2015, which was quite late. मतलब ये तो बहुत एक art है जो which is centuries old, but it started in 2015 with the endeavors of our honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji. तो पर्पस क्या था इसका शुरुआत होने का? तो इसका जो पर्पस था शुरुआत होने का, उसका पर्पस यही था that we need to go back to our roots. This is really, really important. That we need to understand our history. We need to go back to our roots. We need to adopt the old techniques, जिनको हमने शायद रास्ते में कहीं छोड़ दिया था in our path to development. But we forget that all of these things are highly scientific things. And therefore we need to follow them. And I think अब ये जो 2 साल हमने अपने घर में बिताए हैं, बच्चों ने, teachers ने, everybody, we have been struggling with corona. Almost every life has been impacted, or almost everybody has been impacted directly or indirectly. So it actually shows कि हमारी अपनी immunity build करना हमारे लिए कितना जरूरी है. And that is why this yoga session is all the more important. And children, let me tell you, you are really fortunate, you are really very lucky that you have a person today amongst us who has this huge stature. So we have Dr. M.N. Singh ji with us, and I request you to actually listen to each and every word of his. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat box if you have any, but listen to everything, try to comprehend, because this is one of a lifetime opportunity which you might not be able to get later on. Thank you so much, sir. for acceding to our request and joining us today. I now request Prerna ma'am to please give a formal introduction of the sir so that we can commence. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for the informational and inspirational words. Ladies and gentlemen, now I present to you our resource person, Dr. M.N. Singh ji. He is the NSS Cell Coordinator in Manipur University and holds multiple degrees in physical education, including a PhD. He has been principal investigator in various research projects, has organized many workshops, webinars, and conferences, and acted as a resource person in many more. He was awarded Global Achievement Award by Indian Institute of Scientific Research and Analysis in June 2019 and conferred Certificate of Appreciation for outstanding contribution and promotion of yoga in state of Manipur by Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. His achievements are voluminous. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. M.N. Singh ji. I welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Madam, this is audible for my sound?
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Perfectly
madam.
audible.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasant day today. I would like to thanks to all the organizing team of the Mahavir Senior Model School, especially Madam Principal Ruchika Sukija, Madam Parena Sharma, Madam Arti Sharma, Assistant Teacher, Physical Education Department, and other team members. Also, I heartily welcome all the student, parent, invitees of this yoga session for your valuable presence. First of all, let us have sit erect and say one small prayer with me, and then we will start a session. Say, oh. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabiyam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadetamastu Ma Bibhisavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now let us have our session. Now I want to share my slide first. Madam, can you see this one? Hello?
No, sir.
Hello, madam.
No, sir, we cannot see.
Can
Your
you see?
screen is not shared. Yes, sir. Now we can see. Yes, sir. We can see. Sir, can you make it full screen because other slides are also visible?
It's okay, madam?
Perfect. Perfect, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now today, I would like to share a few very small, that is the idea about the yoga. Yoga is very vast. Among them, for the small kids, for the beginners, and for the moderate, mediocre, to understand these things, I will keep the very light highlight about this yoga. So yoga for health simply. So what is a yoga first? I would like to say this yoga. So let us see this one. Yeah. Everybody knows it, but I just recall what is this yoga. Yoga is an essentially a spiritual subject focused on bringing the harmony between mind and body. It is a beautiful art as well as a science for healthy living. So we want to have a healthy living. So this yoga we can hold for the healthy living. See, the word yoga is derived from Sanskrit root words used meaning to join, to yoke, or to unite. That means unite means our soul and super soul. That is a balanced mind. That is a yoga. As per yogic literature, the practice of yoga leads to the union of individual consciousness with universal consciousness. Yoga is an inner science comprising of a variety of methods through which the human being can achieve by union between the body and mind to attain the self-realization. The aim of yoga practice is to overcome all kinds of suffering that leads to sense of freedom in every walk of life with holistic health, happiness, and harmony. So today I'm trying to have some idea about the yoga. And after this discussion, now we are suffering for this COVID-19 pandemic. How to save the COVID-19 pandemic through yoga? That is also, I will put it at the last. So first, this is the meaning of yoga. So if we go through yoga, then we will be free from all the our suffering, and we will get the happiness and harmony. Now, to have a more understanding, I just put the small definitions. So according to Vedanta, we know it. The first is yogi yoge, means unite, to bind together, or to yoke. That is individual spirit, mane jivanatma, and then universal spirit, that paratma. Jivanatma, paramatma ka milan. That is combination of your soul and the super soul. That is also yoga according to Vedanta. Again, Vedanta says yoga samadho. That means concentration or meditation is also called yoga. That means our body, mind, we have different energy. This energy is controlled by our mind. Okay, so mind is fickle, then we cannot achieve anything. To have to control our fickle mind to be a positive concentration, we need this concentration meditation. So how to do that? That also I will put at the last in my video. Now the second definition according to Bhagavad Gita says, yoga karmasu kausalam, means the dexterity in action. That means whatever you do in your life, put on the best. That is skillfully work. Say suppose if you read nicely. If you eat nicely. Whatever you do, you play wholeheartedly, play it, not a half-heartedly. So that such type of action means dexterity in action. That's yoga karmasu kausalam. जो अपना जिंदगी में जो करता है सही ढंग से करे, वो योगा है। वो हम इसको नहीं बताते हैं, हमारा अच्छा जीवन में सब उसमें योगा है। हम बताते नहीं ये क्या चीज है, कौन सा योग है, पर अच्छा प्रभाव एक व्यक्ति के अंदर में है, इसमें योगी होता है। Now next is भगवत गीता का जो next है, that is a sadmadbham yoga ucate, means evenness of mind. So evenness of mind here is, in our life, we sometimes feel very bad, sometimes we're very happy, sometimes we feel sorry, say dead or happiness. So it's a mixing. So for the loss, we should maintain our mind. For the gain, that also maintain the same balance. So that is called evenness. We should not fluctuate our mind. This is also Samabham Yoga Uchate. This is also yoga according to Bhagavad Gita. And then third is Dukkha Samogam Viyogam. That means the severance from the union with pain is yoga. That is, we are the human life. We have a lot of pain in our life. So we have to divert, we have to bifurcate the sorrow, painful from our life part. That is also yoga. So we should understand the art, how to safe from the union of pain. This is called yoga. Now, according to the famous Maharishi Patanjali, he said, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That means cessation, that means the stopping of the modification of chitta. That means the vritti. Vritti means our attachment with the bad thing, it should be nirodha, means protect. Say, our mind is so fickle, going here and there. Again, we pluck the mind from the worsening thing and back to the normal. If again come, it will also bring back to the normal position. We tried it. That is nirodha, means we have to save from the unwanted diversion of the mind. That is called yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So our mind is so fickle, I said already. So fickle mind is going here and there, diversion. We have to be safe. We have to protect it by any means. That means it is called the yoga. Now, broad categories of yoga. In our day-to-day life, everybody says yoga means some asanas or some pranayama. It means, but it's not really. That is a small part of the yoga in our life. So, Alex, that is, wisdom means our thinking, our mindset. Say that we can say our knowledge. Say whatever we trying to get something from the Jnana Shakti, we can yoga. Again, the Bhakti Yoga, second type, this is a way of emotional report, discipline. So that is an emotional report. We have to have some bhakti. Say, as a student life, without the bhakti, we cannot learn nothing. Okay. Say in the what I call in our teaching life also, students have some bhakti to the teachers, and the teachers are wholeheartedly trying to teach to the student. So this is called the Bhakti Yoga example. Then Karma Yoga, say the dedicated work. Whatever you do in the work, we can get some experience. That is a practical work. Through that, we have some knowledge, we have some idea, we have the chances to streamline our personal discipline, social discipline. So we know it, that's a Karma Yoga. And then the fourth one is the Raja Yoga, the way of the spiritual practice. So the way of the spiritual practice is the very most important of all kinds. Say what popularly known as a Raja Yoga in the West is the Hatha Yoga, involve the physical discipline, including asanas, pranayama, satkarams, and mudras, bandhas. So Hatha Yoga is include only some asana, pranayama, satkaram, and mudra. So among them, Raja Yoga, that is Ashtanga Yoga, is the famous. So today, I'm going to explain the most important, most perfect system of yoga, that is a Raja Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. So among them, we will go with that Ashtanga Yoga because this is the most perfect for us. So this Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga means the eightfold part of yoga. So yoga is a system, we know it. If we know this system, then we can have a better life in future. So to get that one, we know the system. What is the system I'm telling you? The Ashtanga Yoga, that means the eightfold part of yoga. That's the number one, that is the Yama. Yama part is a great universal commandment. See, Ahimsa is the first part. Ahimsa, that's a non-violent, we can say. Non-violent means in our society, we are living. When we act on that, by word or by action, we should not harm to anybody. That is called non-violence. Say, Lord Buddha is an example of non-violence. See, Buddha is, practicing non-violence. what he practiced, that's, one day, Buddha came with his disciple in the way. On that way, say, jealous cousin Devadatta, sent out unroused the intoxicated elephant, wild elephant, to stamp on the Lord Buddha. Well, see the, action of that elephant, that all the devotees are requesting to Buddha to run fast away from that place. But Buddha is not do that. And he raise your hand, and then when elephant is coming, then elephant see the, Buddha, elephant himself tame and then pay respect by lifting the nose, that is, trunk. And that was, that was understanding, it come of said a non-violence practice. So non-violence is also very important in our life. This is the first yama. Now again, the satya, truth. See, truth means when we are living on this society, this universe, without the truths, we don't have any, living interest. Suppose if you are not speaking the truth, we can't do nothing. Students are not keeping their truth, then teacher cannot, teaching rightly. Say, you have heard about the King Harichandra. King Harichandra. Say, King Harichandra, is a good example. His history is very long, even though I just quoted the one or few lines there. Say, one day says Vasistha, that is the guru of the King Harichandra, meet his rival, says Vishwamitra. And then Vasistha said, my disciple King Harichandra is the most truthful man on the earth, claimed Vasistha. And then at the time, Vasistha said, I shall prove that he is not. He went to the King Harichandra's place and, turned to the poor Brahmin and approached to the, King Harichandra. And the Harichandra, said to the, poor Brahmin, then he said, I need your help. So can you give it that one? Definitely I will give, Harichandra said. The first thing is you should give your kingdom and your all wealth of your country, he said. And then without any thinking, Harichandra give anything except his, wearing cloth. And then Harichandra left the kingdom and went out from the kingdom, and her, wife and the son also follow after them. And after 1 month again, that greedy Vishwamitra again said, you give another boon, another my wish. What is that? That is, you should give 1.5 and a bushel of the gold coin, he said. And then he asking to give the 1 month time, and then said yes. Then again Harichandra trying to walk here and there, and then try to even walking in the crematorium also. And when he walking at the time, and then he cannot get the amount of that gold bushel to give to the second ways of that poor Brahmin. Then at last he sailed his son and the wife, and then even though it's not getting yet, one day, that wife and that son separated from him, and then the small that kid, what called the son, bite by the snake and kill it. Then at last what happened? Her wife bring the dead body for the cremate to the crematorium, and then to say to her husband Harichandra for the crematorium, cremate the her son. But he is refusing, because until unless you are not paying the amount of the crematorium, now I cannot. Then they are crying a lot, and then at last they make a fire kund, and they try to get inside, and the half burned logs there, and prepare for killing themselves. And at last what happened? Vishnu come up himself, and then return whatever his test is success, and then return his kingdom. So on that way, satya, truth, whatever he did. So as a student life also, whatever your teachers said, whatever your parents said, you just make the confidence, you make the truth have, then you will be success, just like the King Harichandra returned to his kingship in the same way. Now again, the Yama third is asteya, non-stealing, non-stealing. We should not steal anybody's things without telling. Say, किसी का चीज को बिना बता के लेना वो ठीक नहीं है. So हम किसी ने कभी नहीं करना है. So हम बताते हैं example. That's example is the King Bharata. So King Bharata is an example of. King Bharata is, you know, say in the Ajodhya, Dasarath kings were there. Okay, Dasarath king has a 3 wives. Okay, eldest wife is a Kausila, that's a Ram mother, and the second wife is a Kaikeyi, that's a Bharat mother, and the third wife is a Sumitra, that's a Lakshman and the Shatrughan mother. So Kaikeyi is something, you know, different due to influence of the one lady. So one day, you know, King Dasaratha, when he was sick, and then he have, you know, give the good service, and then King, you know, heaven one promise that whatever you want, I will give it. So that, you know, second wife Kaikeyi said, I will take one day, not today, like that. And taking the chance, he said that the kingship of this Ajodhya should be my son Bharata. And the second is Rama should send to the 14 years to the jungle. So this was, you know, his request to the, you know, as a boon to the Dasarath. So on that happening is, you know, Ramayana is happening. So everything is happened, but at the time Bharata, you know, went to the grandfather's house. When he returned from home, everything is done there. Everything is done there. And that Bharata feel very shocked, and he requested to the Rama, I don't want to take your kingship because this is not my turn. This is brother your turn. So Bharata is not taking the kingship because this is not his turn. Okay, na? So this is a great example. So in your life, suppose you are not supposed not to getting your chance for the steya. So in this is a good, you know, universal commandment. Okay, then the fourth one is Yama, is a brahmacharya, self-control, self-control. In this self-control means in your life to have the for betterment, we need our self-control. Say suppose you are sending to a place where you can get a good education. At the time your father, your mother is not seeing you, but you are do whatever you want there. Instead of taking your education, you are not control your mind, your behavior, then you will ruin it. You cannot complete your education. Same. So self-control. So Sukha is an example of for that. Then again the aparigraha says selfish, unselfishness. So Vishnu Dasa is an example. So in this COVID pandemics also, we should not be unselfish. Let's suppose I have the things, you have the things. Whatever I have, it may be, you know, less value to me. But to someone, it is a very high value. It will save their life. So then why not help to others? So unselfishness is also very important. Say, example is a Vishnu Dasa, you know. Vishnu Dasa is a very, Brahman, that he is very dedicated Brahman. When he is cooked in his ashram, when cooling down, at the time just he walk out, and one of the very thin and very weak, you know, men come and eat his, you know, food. And repeatedly these things, one or twice, and one day the Vishnu Dasa observed on the window, and the one or very weak poor ate his, you know, food, whatever he prepared. And then he see, and then when the Vishnu Dasa see the poor, weak, you know, poor man is run away. And the Vishnu Dasa said, don't run, you are not eating the that one very tasty one, so you eat this one also. And then he caught it and even give it that one. So at last, you know, that all, you know, weak poor man convert to Vishnu himself and give him a boon that is, you know, that is a heavily, you know, life is given to him. So unselfish work. So when you do anything in your life, selfish should not be there. You should be unselfish. Whatever, say suppose a man is there walking with a weak stick, very weak, So at the time, stick is fall down from hand. Then you just have to catch the stick to your hand. So it is more important than you are giving a huge amount of money to him. So the first certain things is helping what the needed person. So unselfish act is very important. So yama, ahimsa, satya, steya, brahmacharya is the universal commandment we have to obey in our life. Now the second, that Astanga Yoga, second part is a niyama, that is the personal discipline. So personal discipline, in this, we have the small history. So it is me, I'm telling that it will be very lengthy. I will be sorted out to understand also. So the first niyama is a saucha. Saucha means a cleanliness. So in the cleanliness, in the personal discipline, it has two. One is your internal, another is the external. Suppose we are keep bath. Okay, so this is the external cleanliness, personal hygiene, external cleanliness. So if you want to internal cleanliness, then we have to practice yoga asanas and the pranayamas and meditations. Okay, so then you will get the internal cleanliness also. We need to have external and internal cleanliness in the personal discipline. Now again, santosha, contentment. So whatever you have today, you have to satisfy for that. Suppose I have one car, for example. Okay, so that car is helping to me. If I can have the caliber to purchase the 10 car, suppose I purchase 10 car, then to maintenance the 10 car, then I become the slave to my cars. So we should not put on that belongings. So contentment, satisfaction is very important. Say Krishna and the Sudama is an example. Krishna and the Sudama is a best friend. Krishna become the king, and then Sudama is in the very poor, or what I call says Muni. Now after a long time, the Krishna become a king, big king, and at the time Sudama, is also have the family life, Suchitra, and then this Sudama is approached by her wife that your friend Krishna is a king. You approach to him to give something because we are very penniless. We are, we are starving. We cannot fulfill our, food also. And then one day, according to approach to his Suchitra, his wife, Sudama went to Krishna's house. At the time, the gatekeepers refused to enter inside. Then Sudama explained, he is my friend. Please tell to him. And then when the Krishna see the Sudama, and then he grabs the friend and then happily enjoyed in your kingship. And then Krishna requests to the Sudama friend, poor friend, and the poor friend bring one, eatable things. That is that roti. We can say very sukhi roti. That is also put by her wife, Sudama's wife. And then certainly Krishna took up and then enjoyed that sukha roti, and they enjoyed a lot. And then Krishna said, my friend, you stay for 3-4 days here. And Sudama is not asking anything to give something your eatable or something like that. At the time, Krishna sent his followers prepare the Sudama's house very well there. Okay, then after 3-4 days, Sudama went home back, and at the time he doesn't understand which is your house. Now even the his wife and sons are enjoying in the hi-fi system there, but the Sudama is not interested that much wealth, and he happily enjoyed very simple life, that is contentment, santosha. So in your life, whatever you have, please satisfy it. Don't eager more and more. Okay, I think you understand. Now again, the third one is the tapas, great effort. So in your life, you want to become something, you require to have a good effort. Say effort means hard work. To have that one, you have to have say effort. So we are reaching tapa, great efforts. said, Dhruva is an example of that great efforts. So now I'm telling you that some history about this Dhruva. Dhruva, what he said? Dhruva's father, Utanpada, has two wives. Okay, one is a Suniti, kind and modest. Her son is a Dhruva, and the Surusi is haughty and ambitious, and Surusi's son is Uttama. So Surusi is very greedy. So one day Dhruva sat on her father's lap. When she to Suruchi, Suruchi's call to and went to a far forest, and he meditate, he concentrate a long time. Okay, and then at last, this Dhruva got it, the what you call his Istadevata, okay, got it, and then he become very, very fruitful, effective and wise man. And then he got the grace of the God after the meditation, long time meditation. Again, he come back at a time, her say younger mother, that is a Surusi, apologized to him, and her son Uttama is, giving the kingship to the again Dhruva. Now Dhruva become very wise due to his meditation in the forest, and at last, he is a very wise and a very, good kingdom. So, in the pole star, Dhruva, pole star. So pole star is lying on that. This is telling to the, the Grantha also said like that. So Dhruva is an example of the great effort. Okay. Now again, Swadhyaya, self-study. You have to realize yourself. Say you are in the home. Okay. You are in the home. What is your position? What is your system in the society? You have to understand. You have to realize it. So Nisikata is an example. So self-study. Say suppose even in your study also, what teachers, madam or sir give it in the homework. Did I already complete it or not? Okay, self-analyze. Whatever I saying to my mother or father is right or wrong, we have to analyze. Self-study. After analyze yourself and do accordingly. So that is Swadhyaya, self-study. Now again the Iswar Pranidhara, faith to the God. Suppose, say, I have one pen with me. This pen is very light with me. Okay. So if I leave it a very long time, now it will be tired. Even it is very light. So it will have a very long wear, then I will be very tired. In the same manner, in your mind, any worry or anything, put on the best what you get the chance. Then after that, leave it free. Hand over to the God. Suppose you are, loving, you love a lot your parents or father or mother, whatever. Suppose you love your mother, and then give a good service to your mother when you are with her. Then you apart from your mother, then simply say, oh my God, please look after my mother. I am just apart from her. That's all. Okay. So put on the best, whatever you do, after that, you just give it to the faith. So Prahlada is an example of the, good example. And Prahlada is also, then this is what I call very, very, say, important one. And that Prahlada is the son of Hiranyakashipu, and he is a devotee of the Vishnu, and Vishnu killed the two brothers of the Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu is very anti to the gods, and gods are always trying to destroy. And then this what called Hiranyakashipu call all the mantris and they said to destroy all the mandir, all the ashrams and like that. Okay. So at last, what happened? Prahlada is, a devotee of this Vishnu, and then one day, her father said that, Prahlada is bringing to her and then call it the name of the Bhagavan Vishnu. At the time, he is very angry, and who taught his name to my daughter, my son. And then that teacher said, I'm not teaching anything. Vishnu himself come out and the teaching to her like that. Okay. And then he is very afraid because the father is trying to kill him also, alas. Okay. So like that, you know, Prahlada is trying to kill by her father in several attempts, throw to the fire, throw to the river, throw to the, you know, ghost, and then cut by a sharp knife, but it's not hurt to him. Okay. So dedicated to the God, the Vishnu himself saved it. And at last, you know, that father asked to the Prahlada, you are fed to the Vishnu. Try to ask to him that come out in front of me in this from the pillar. And in his palace, all the pillars are come up just like the Singh, okay, lion type, and killed her father, and the Prahlada become the, you know, king of the new rule. So that was, you know, faith to the God. So you also try to have the faith in your Istadevata. Okay, this is very important. Now, yes. Now again, the third one is asana. Asana postural stance. We have 84 lakh asanas in the altogether. So every human living or unliving thing is try to imitate at a time, and then 84 lakh asanas is the total number of asanas in your today. But for our practice, it can classify it into three groups. One is the meditative asanas. Whatever the asanas we are using for the meditative purpose, that is swastika asana, padmasana, vajrasana, like that. So sukhasana, like that. This is a meditative asanas. Now again, the cultural asanas. Any type of form of the asanas, poses which are imitated from living or unliving things, like the imitated from the peacock, imitated from the, you know, breech, imitated from anything, dog, sasanga asana, like that. Whatever the imitated from the environment, that is a cultural asanas. And the third group is a relaxative asanas. We use the purpose when we want to be relaxed, that is called relaxative asanas. For example, makara asana, bala asana, sava asana. So people are thinking that asanas is only the yoga. It is wrong. Okay, asanas is a part of the small part of the yoga. That is keep in mind. Now again, the fourth part of the Stanga yoga is a pranayama. That is the scientific control of our breath. Okay, see, in our body we have different fuel. Until unless this fuel is not burning, we cannot get the energy. Okay, to get the energy, we require oxygen. To inhale inside the body, this oxygen is react with our inside carbon dioxide. We can say the fuel, and now we can get the energy. So when this you know, inhale air, it reaching that oxygen molecules get together with your, you know, iron contained in the red blood corpuscle and make it a friend, that a ferrous oxide, and then it drag inside. Now it becomes the oxygenated blood. So as much as you drag this oxygen inside your body, that much you have the capacity, you have the energy for that. So you can get your energy 4 or 5 times as your efforts. So it's a very important. So prana, because prana is your atma, your mind, this living spirit. Without this, you know, breathe, you cannot live without 5 minutes also even. But without food, without water, you can live it 1 day even. But without this breath, oxygen, you cannot live it. That's why this is called the prana, bayama. That is called pranayama. We can call it pranayama. So it's a very important to have this type of practice in your life. And then pratyahara. You know, this pratyahara is, now we want to do something in our life for betterment, then it requires to control your mind first. To control, then we have to withdraw our 5 senses. You know, the boys and the girls, the 5 senses are taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. Okay, now? So you have to withdraw these senses from your body. Now you are nothing there. You cannot touch, you cannot see, you cannot smell, you cannot sight, you cannot hear. You know, that is a blunder, everything, sense control. This state is called pratyahara. Okay? This state is very important. From this step, now we will go to the antarang yoga, inside yoga. This first four is the bairang yoga, bahar ki or yoga. So andar ki or yoga, that is the dharana. Dharana is a concentrate, okay? Concentration means select one senses. So suppose hearing the bird chirping sound around outside, okay? Or water drop is like that. Okay, think inside that, recognize your mother like that. So select one option. That is called the concentration. Now after that, the dhyana meditation. In this meditation, you know, think about that particular what you choose it. So for example, you choose your mother's face, okay? That is a dharana. After choosing, you meditate. And that part, my mother face is like this, nose is like this, hair is like this, you know, slowly gazing the, you know, all the facial structures, timely, you know, it involves some time there. At the time, your minds keep in busy. Then your mind will not go here and there. I said it, your mind is so fickle. Once you control, you are very powerful. Okay? Your whole energy is more than, you know, thunderstorm. Okay? So once you control this one, you will be a very wonderful, you know, energetic person in the life. So meditation is that one. And then I want to say one lines that very listen carefully. In any tasks, any work with a positive, right spirit. This is also good meditation. In your family, in your, you know, परिवार में मामा बहुत अच्छा से काम करता है, पापा अच्छे से काम करता है. जो माँ अच्छा से जो काम करता है, या स्टूडेंट आप लोग अच्छा से पढ़ाई करता है, मन लगा के जो करता है ना, तो आप जो मन लगा के मतलब that is your meditation. We cannot isolate from meditation or work like that. Okay, if you have a good nature, boys or girls, all these characters is inside you. Okay, to make understand, we are bifurcating what is this. Okay, so if you have the good qualities in you, everything is with you. So meditation, concentration is there if you work in the right spirit. Okay, that is meditation. Then after that, the last samadhi, kaivalya. It's a goal of yoga where yogi unite with God. Okay, so say suppose I'll tell you one example. Suppose the soap iron, कोई किल हो तो इसमें मैग्नेट में बार बार उसको रगड़ना. ओके, बार बार रगड़ना. उसके बाद जो है चीज उसको convert into magnet. Now we hang at that soap iron. It will telling the north and south pole. Okay, it become the magnet by rubbing that. In the same pattern, in your body and the mind is rubbed to the system of the yogi. What I said is Ashtanga yoga. Then you become magnet. Then you become the samadhi stage. Just like the magnet, you know, rub, and then I soap iron become the magnet in the same way. Once you got this achievement, that the samadhi stage, then you can read the wave even your environment. Okay, in your environment. So for example, in your house, okay, in your house, you put one beautiful gamla, okay, gamla, flower. When people see, it's very beautiful, okay. At a time, very big amount of energy is released. That is a good energy in front of you, okay. And that you may think that nobody see, I will throw the garbage in my front of my house, okay. People see your garbage, very smell, it's very dirty, okay, badbudar. ओके, देन उसी आदमी से मैं क्या बोला था, उसी आदमी से थंडर स्टॉर्म से ज्यादा एनर्जी इसमें है. सो गंदगी वाला एनर्जी आपके घर के सामने छोड़ देता है. दोस्तों क्या कहते हैं, उसको आपका घर कभी शांत नहीं होगी. अब देखो, घर के सामने गंदगी रखे हुए हैं, इसी परिवार का जो आदमी है ना, कोई सुखी नहीं रहेगी. उसको अंदर में झगड़ाबाजी होगी, लड़ाईबाजी होगी और गरम होगी. ठीक है ना. तो इससे आपका छोटा सा भी हो, बड़ा भी हो, आपके घर के सामने अच्छा सा क्लीन रखेंगे ना, तो उसको आदमी लोग अच्छा सा एनर्जी आपके सामने डाल देंगे. तो उसी एनर्जी आपके घर में बम्बार करके सब लोग खुशी रहेंगे. यह आप लोग माइंड में कोट करेंगे. ठीक है. इसी तरह समाधि स्टेज में जब आएंगे ना आदमी, तो वातावरण को पढ़ पाएंगे. तो कल तो ये होगी, कल ये हो गया था, है ना, ये पढ़ पाएंगे, वेरी सेंसिटिव आदमी बन जाएंगे, ठीक है। नाउ दिस इज अ शॉर्ट अबाउट, नाउ आई एम जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड बेटर, आई विल जस्ट मेक इट अनदर, सी दिस इज अष्टांग योगा, यम first, okay? Yama, ahimsa, satta, steya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. What I said now, okay? Now again, niyama. Niyama, शौचा, संतोष, तपा, स्वाध्याय, ईश्वर प्रणिधान. उसके बाद आसना, meditative आसन, cultural आसन, relaxative आसन. Then pranayama, breathing exercise. Then pratyahara, then dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Look in the ones nicely, okay? अष्टांग योगा 8 fold part, नंबर 1 यम है, नंबर 2 नियम है, थर्ड आसन है, उसके बाद प्राणायाम है, प्रत्याहार है, धरण है, ध्यान है, समाधि है, ठीक है। आप फोटो खींच लो तो खींच लो उसको, ठीक है। ये अच्छा से प्रैक्टिस करोगे, ओके, तो आप अच्छा सा आदमी बन जाओगे जरूर, ओके ना। तो उसकी टाइप में जो अहिंसा, सत्य, स्थेय, ब्रह्मचर्य, यम का पाठ हो गया, नियम का पाठ हो गया, शौच, संतोष, तप, स्वाध्याय, ईश्वर प्रणिधान हो गया, आसन के 3 बार, मेडिटेटिव, कल्चरल, रिलैक्सेटिव हो गया, और प्राणायाम साइंटिफिक ब्रीथ हो गया, प्रत्याहार सेंस ऑफ 5 ऑर्गन्स हो गया, धरना मतलब मेडिटेशन हो गया, एंड देन उसके बाद ध्यान कंसंट्रेट कर दिया, समाधि इक्वलिटी टू द गॉड। जो मैग्नेट जो है ना, सोप आयरन से मैग्नेट बनता है, ऐसे समाधि हो गया। आप भी समाधि रूप में लाना है, ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, धीरे 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 जमाएंगे तो आप इतना तक बन पाएंगे, ठीक है ना। नाउ एक बार और अंडरस्टैंड के लिए मैं लाता हूं, देखो ध्यान से, देखो ये पैर है, हाँ, पैर की यहाँ पहली जो यम जो है ना, रूट है, आप पैर की रूट है, ठीक है ना, पैर का रूट। उसके बाद इसे रूट से जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स आएंगे ना, जो ट्रंक में लेके खींचेंगे आएंगे, ठीक है ना। उसके बाद आपकी जो है ना आसना में आएंगे, आसना जो है आपका जो है ब्रांचेस है, ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद प्राणायाम आएंगे, हाँ, प्राणायाम माने कि लिप्स, हाँ लिप्स। तो प्राणायाम माने कि हम सांस लेता है ना, तो पौधे में सांस कहाँ लेता है, लिप्स में लेता है, सांस लेता है लिप में, ठीक है ना। फिर उसके बाद क्या आता है, प्राणायाम की बात प्रत्याहार से, प्रत्याहार माने कि बाघ, बाघ माने कि आपको 5 सेंसेस, आपको 5 सेंसेस कंट्रोल नहीं होगा ना तो कुछ नहीं होगा। देखो इसी बाघ से पूरा पेड़ को कंट्रोल करता है, यहाँ गाय आएंगे, बफेलो आएंगे, रगड़ेंगे, तो बाघ नहीं होगा तो ये टूट जाएंगे, ठीक है ना। इसी तरह सोसाइटी के अंदर में, इन आवर सोसाइटी डिस्टर्बेंस इज अ लॉट, you know, society itself has a good quality, bad quality. अच्छा आदमी होगा तो अच्छा ले लेके खाएंगे, और गंदा आदमी होगा तो गंद को ले लेके खाएंगे, ठीक है ना। तो सोसाइटी में मिलन है, मिक्स है, अच्छा भी है बुराई भी है, तो तुम अच्छा हो तो अच्छा ही करेंगे, तू बुराई हो तो बुराई करेंगे। तो इसलिए जो प्रत्याहार, सेल्फ कंट्रोल, बाक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। उसके बाद बाक के बाद क्या आएंगे, धरना, धरना माने कि सेल शेप्स, इसमें जो खिंच के आएंगे ना, ये देखो अंदर से जो रूट के थ्रू आएंगे तो इसके लेकर आएंगे। फिर उसके बाद क्या है, धरना, धरना माने कि आपको फ्लावर, जो फ्लावर से कुछ दिन के बाद फिर फ्रूट बनेंगे, ठीक है ना, ये है समाधि। तो हमारा जो पेड़ लगाने का मकसद है, हमको फ्रूट खाने का है, तो फ्रूट खाने के लिए यहां तक लाना पड़ेगा, तो आप लोग भी ये ध्यान से देखना है। नाउ थोड़ा सा समझने की बात, okay, I hope you have understand something about the yoga, that's a Raj Yoga, very important for you. Now after understanding this, now this pandemic situation, we need to have some yogic practice. Now I just on one video here, let us see carefully. This video is making for increasing your immune system, physical fitness during you are staying in the home especially. Now let us see. Now, this is a yogic practice for enhancing immune system during pandemic. This is for myself. Let's see. Listen carefully and see. COVID pandemic, we can adopt the yoga some practices. This is my home, and this is myself. Healthy, that is especially strength our body and balance our mind and body. Now today I am going to demonstrate some technique of yogic practices that enhance our immune system as well as our HoD strength fitness. The first, I will take that steps that sitting pose. Simple, we will have the sit in the Gyan Mudra and say any 3 times Om Charan like this. Now, first I'll put some technical that is especially enhancing our lung capacity. Some asanas that is very simple technique. You can do some technique that is say inhalation. Here from here, say inhale, then here exhale. Then time. Here inhale, then exhale. And it will open up your lung cells, that's the alveoli cell. Now, next step, you can do it like inhale, then exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Relax. And the next inhale, exhale technique for lungs, then you lift your legs like this. And relax. So if you do this, then lung capacity will increase. Then the fourth step you can do, that is Skandhatha Bahu Sati Vikas. Like this. Inhale, then slow, then straight up, exercise. At least 3. Once more. So at least we can do this much exercise for the lungs. Now, we can do some pranayama, the very simple technique that alone belong, that we can see this Jnana Mudra and then this right hand index finger and the ring finger hold it and hold like this, alone belong. Simply inhale without mukha. Exhale. At least 3 rounds. Now again, we can do other that the breathing exercises that we can do Brahmari Pranayama. For the Brahmari Pranayama, say take this hand finger here and hold your tongue inside. Then 3 times Brahmari sound. slightly massage. Now, this is very short about the breathing exercise. Now, I want to put some yogi movements. Then, starting from the sitting pose, very simple. Just leg is just sit here and move your legs here to strengthen the immune system as well as increase this what we call blood circulation to the leg part. And sit erect like this, and then pull it down here. And then this also do like this, hold it here, and do like this, and press it here, and here. Now, again, forward bending, we can take it like this. This is called Pranayama Asana. You can do at your own level. It's not compulsory to do the last level. You can do at your level. Now this is Pranayama. Now again you can do backward bending. The backward bending you can do this strata. So go like this over here. Inhale, maintain for 2 seconds. So this is about forward bending, backward bending. Now again forward bending, that is Banduk Asana. Amutha and Mutivan, put that down below. Now you can strengthen your, if you both have the diabetes, you can put below. Forward bending. Continue. Relax. After forward and backward, let us get a twisting. Twisting. For the twisting, let us do Ardha Machandra Asana. For the Ardha Machandra Asana, this right hand goes and take left leg, put it down there, and again left hand take this right leg, cross over the left side. Now again, it twists. This is the right leg, so twist towards the right. And make it move here. Relax. Goes like this. And then this also same procedure. Then again here, Dandasana take at least 1 or 2 breaths. Then after it, hold the left hand, then right leg, and put down to the left side. And again, right leg, cross over the left side. Same procedure. And this is the left leg, so take towards the left side and move it here. Relax. Well, this is about the sitting. Now we can take from supine pose. Like this. So first, you can take 8% Supta Pawan Mukha. Like this. Very slowly. Exhale, hold it. Normal respiration. Then release. And at this breathing. After that, relax. Hold it here. Expiration and slowly hold it. And then for 2 seconds with normal respiration. Then relax. After as one twice breathe, you will be bored. This is Supta Pawan Mukha. Hold it like this. After 2 seconds, again try to touch on the heel and the eye. Then move like this. Because if you have any problems of the back, it will subside. Like this. And then relax.
Now this is about overbending. Now again we can take backward bending, very simple. That is the statue bundle. Hold it at an angle and inhale, lift your abdomen like this. Maintain for 2 seconds. Relax. Then come to Savasana. Take one or twice breath. Now this was backward bending. You will take forward bending. That is, you can take cross pose. Start like this. Then come to Sarvangasana. From Halasana to Sarvangasana. This is good for the brain power increase. Now after this, we need to front pose like this. In this front pose part, this is called Makrasana. Relax. Sarvangasana with Bhujanasana is very difficult to increase our brain power. Let's stimulate this pose. Finally. So the first is Cobra pose. That is the leg pose. Like this. Then inhale. Come to this Prasana. Then into that Sarvangasana. Salvasana, you can say. This is breath, you will leave it. Salvasana. Relax. Then rest a while. Then at last we will do Navasana. This is a very good asana. Those who have the low back pain and the feet pain, especially at the backbone. Like this, Navasana. So if you can do it Navasana. Like this, relax. And for control your nadi surface, if your nerve, that is especially your ambulance is moved, then every problem will come. So to step from the position changes of your nerves, you can do this asanas, that is, or bow pose, Dhanurasana. It is very effective. Like this, inhale. Very simple. Relax. Then again, we can put it some asanas in the standing. That is very easy. That we can have some stability. So that asana in the standing is, first we will have leg movements. So simple leg up, down, up, down, up. Then left, right, left, then left is, right is, right is. Then rotation. So this is not the asana, but this is for the loosening technique. So we can do some asanas especially for this soldier and like that. So for the small kids, if we do this, like say more than 8 years, they can increase their height like this. This is the Ardha Chandra. And increase your lung capacity also here. And another side also here. Like this. And the Ardha Chandrasana, backward is also okay. Then for the stability also increase, that is the basic asana. Like this. It needs to concentrate. Then relax, like this. And then again side change. Relax. At last, Tadasana. So 1 or 2 inches wide, and then let it straight the body out, and then leave it like this, stand on the floor. Tadasana. Relax. So this is just basic, some asanas that we can enhance our immunity and body strength, that is especially physical fit during this pandemic. Now again, we can take very short step, that is normalize your breathing. Then we can say the dhyan. During this dhyan, we can concentrate your arm respiration in such a way that whatever you have in the mind during this pandemic or in any part of your life, you will find different thoughts. That thoughts drag your mind and give solution and leave. Drag your mind, take solution and leave. At last, your mind should be empty. And simply concentrate in your breath or between the eyebrow or Sasana Chakra, whatever. That's the main aim of this meditation, is control your fickle mind. Once you control your fickle mind, you are so focused on this art. Everybody is controlled by your mind. So your mind control is very beautiful technique. And another thing, you walking in the right spirit in any task, that is just like a meditation. Now, don't think about anything, whatever in your life, concentrate for 2 seconds. Then after the meditation, you just say Omkara. Right. Om Bhuva Swaha Tasya Turbareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Everybody can do without thought, stress, everything. This is a just practice to inculcate your quality of life, especially in COVID pandemic, and your part of your life, and rejuvenate your energy, mind, and body. For this, try to adopt it. Use it in your life. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.
Yeah, this about the short yogic practice that we can use in the this COVID pandemic, and the small kids also, you want to practice it those students who are more than 8 years, you can practice the top yoga asanas also. So the below the 8 years, you have to be cautioned that you should not be fully stressed for asanas. This is a caution to you. And then in this process, we will find it body stability, then lungs capacity enhancing, and then the body strength also there. During this COVID pandemics, most of the peoples are, affected due to pandemic. Those persons who are already, affected due to this, COVID, those are already positive and then recover from that, their lungs is very, deteriorated. So for them, very slowly, they have to do it. At least 3 or 4 months is required to recover fully. So during this process, you can adopt that breathing exercise, what we did earlier, breathing exercise, very slowly. And those who are the normal person, you can do all every day, especially preferably the empty stomachs in the morning. Now again, now this COVID pandemics, especially, nose throat is very infected. So suppose you are exposed to the COVID pandemics, that is something, doubt that. You have to be clean your, nasal tracts and the throat. So let us small see, this is only 4 minutes only. Let us see this one also.
I'm going to show some technique of nose cleaning. There is a neti, and then jal kapalbhati, and then kapalbhati. So first, we will sit in the Tadasana, and this is called the neti pot. In this neti pot, we pour the hot water. This is some pot that is a variable temperature, more than the body temperature, and it's already mixed with salt, that is edible salt, that is also little more than the curry taste. Now, it will hold like this here in the thumb, and then tip to the left nostril here, and then respiration through the mouth, like this, and then slowly tilt, like this. Then again, we can change the side. Same as put on it here, and repeat to the right nostril, and the same procedure. This we can do 2-3 rounds from one side. So next we can do Jal Kapalbhati. For the Jal Kapalbhati, take this water in the mouth. When we go outside or anywhere, now pot may not be available. At a time, we can use this technique. So we can take this water in the mouth. We can do this 2-3 times like this. And once more. This was the Jal Kapalbhati. Then, what about the water drops written inside? To remove this, we have to Kapalbhati. For this, hold here back like this. So like this, and then very simple, and bend like this, 60 degree, like this, and then strong and front. can do 60 to 120 strokes per minute. So this is a very simple technique we can do at home during this COVID pandemic, and it is very effective for the cleaning of especially this throat, nose, and this skull. So it is a very beautiful asana that we can say this is the water kriya. Thank you.
Okay. All the students and learned teachers and my colleagues and participants, this is the sort about this what we call the some basics about the explanation of the yoga, and then about some techniques of the immune increasing technique during this pandemic, and then nozzle throat cleaning technique. This, as much as possible, we can use in your life during this pandemic. If you hold some part of this practice in your home, then you are safe from the worry, tension, everything. Now, if this practice include everything, and now health, according to the World Health Organization said, health is a state of physically, mentally, socially, emotionally well-being, not merely absence of disease or infirmity. So to become the better health, we have to concentrate our physical, mental, social, spiritual, emotional, everything is required. To have to do this, yoga is, whole around, it can care whatever I said, the health parameters. Okay, you be a good health, you have to adopt these things. Say other exercises cannot fulfill all the requirements, but in the yogic practice, you can fulfill this. Even you can clean the inner inside your body's lungs and heart, kidney, circulatory system, physical fitness, that the lymphatic system, everything, even the brain power also. I said that to increase your brain power, stimulate your this bone and the nerve, then vertebral column, there is a 72,000 nerve fibers are trained there, and twisting, bending, that is a Bhujanga Asana and Sarvanga Asana. It is a very usually recommended by the scientists as well as the swamis to increase your memory power in the student life as well as the teacher's life. We have to adopt these things. So by few these words, time is also out of the trick. Sorry for that. I want to try to cover some basic things, so that's why some time is more consuming. Sorry for that. Now I'm going to conclude. Thank you very much. So is there any query or then any interaction? Welcome for that, madam. Yes, open to the students and audience for the short interaction, because we are newly meet to each other. You are so beautiful, so smart. I hope you can do the better life in the future. So if you have any query, please welcome.
If you have any queries or you want to say something, please raise your hand. Virtually, we'll unmute. I think, sir, your presentation was so comprehensive that nobody has any queries. I actually enjoyed the entire journey that you took us through. I enjoyed all the stories, all the details that you told us, and that how yoga is not just a physical exercise, how it is so much emotional, so much mental and spiritual as well. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the entire journey. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much, Auntie Ma'am, for bringing sir on this platform and making us interact with a person of this nature. Thank you so much. I think over to Swati ma'am or Prerna ma'am, whosoever has to take over.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. What an enlightening session it was. The best webinar is one where we lose the track of time, and there couldn't have been a better use of these couple of hours. Yoga is an invaluable gift of India's ancient tradition. It embodies unity of mind and body, thought and action, restraint and fulfillment, a harmony between man and nature, and a holistic approach to health and well-being. In the days of pandemic and followed struggle, this session full of insights and action points was much needed for each one of us. On behalf of our school MSMS, I extend a hearty thanks to our eminent speaker, Dr. M.N. Singh ji, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace us all. Sir, your calm demeanor and your soothing voice exudes the vibe of a true yogi. We all have learned so much today. Thank you, sir. I'd also like to thank our principal ma'am, Mrs. Ruchika Sukhija, who is a visionary leader and an educationist par excellence. Thank you, ma'am, for always motivating us. Ma'am, from sports department to organize and coordinate this informative session. Last but definitely not the least, thank you to all the parents, teachers, and students for joining this session. I hope you all had a good time. Thank you all and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. And just one last line for all the students. You have to actually follow what sir has told you today. And that would be your thank you message to him, right? So start following what sir has told you. You have enjoyed the wonderful stories. You have seen him performing. So now you have to do it with your parents. Do it. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.